Hello! So today I am making mini pretzel bites, and I have my yeast and water and sugar mixture here, and I'm just mixing up, and I'm gonna let that sit on the side. And I also have my flour already pre-measured with some salt in there, my mixer right here, and my mixer bowl, and my recipe right here. So I'm just gonna go put these up. Oh, and I have my parchment paper lined baking sheets for whenever we bake the pretzels. So I'm just waiting for this yeast mixture here to bubble up so that it is ready. And so, okay. Now, I have the bowl and the flour. And I'm just going to add the flour into the bowl. And there we go. Now, I'm going to add the water, yeast, sugar mixture. You can see it in there. You can see that in there. And I'm going to put that on there. There we go. So, hi puppy. I am just gonna turn this on. Let it mix. Now I have my dough. I'm just going to go ahead and take it out after I get all the flour in one little ball in the dough so I don't drop any flour anywhere. I still probably am, but trying to minimize that. Ugh. Okay, there we go. So here's our little dough ball. Now, I'm going to go ahead and knead it. Here, I'm gonna move you where you can see what I'm doing. Look at there. So what I'm doing is I'm just taking my hands, putting one on top of the other, pushing it out, folding it back, pushing it out, twisting it a little bit. And there's more in-depth videos of people kneading. So this is just, I'm just trying to get it all one texture where there's no lumps of flour or anything in the dough. And this dough is actually a very, very simple dough to make. It is just flour, salt, sugar, water, and the hardest part is the yeast, because the water has to be warm, like bath water warm, is how I explain it to people. You don't want your flour to be too hot or too cold. So, yep. Alright, I'd say we're probably good. So I'm just going to roll it into, or shape it into a little ball. And grab some cooking non-stick spray and the bowl that we used for the flour. So I'm just gonna spray the inside of that, take our ball, just drop it into there, and let it sit, or let it sit. And while it's sitting, I'm just gonna clean up my mess and everything, and I will get back to you when I'm done and when it's ready. Hello, welcome back. So now that our dough has risen, I already punched it down. You just punch it down, release all of the extra air, take it out, and here I floured my work surface. And I'm just going to go ahead and put it on there, flour the top of it, and then bit. So I'm turning it 90 degrees. Whatever, one side looks bigger than the other. So you're just gonna roll it out to about a 1/4 inch thick. And then once I'm done rolling it, so I'm gonna get a bench scraper and I am going to slice it up into little strips and little cubes, so that's about good. And now over here on the stove, I have a cup of water that is boiling, and I have 2 tablespoons of baking soda right here. So now, see it's steaming. So I'm gonna turn the thing off, the burner off, and then pour it into my bowl. Now it will bubble up a little bit. So I'm just gonna gently mix this mixture up and then set it to the side to where it can cool down a little bit, because you don't want to dip your hands in a burning hot liquid, do ya? I will be right back. So I just went ahead and went and got me a bench scraper. This is going to be used to slice the slices and the sections of the dough. But if you don't have one, you can just use a spatula and do like this and cut it like that if you don't have a bench scraper. But this little tool makes it so much easier. So what I am going to do, set you there, make sure that it's not stuck to the surface or anything. Okay. Over those pans, go ahead and put those there. Oh, you need to preheat your oven to 400. So, doing that, preheating the oven at this step. So I'm just cutting some strips of the dough, however big you want them. Now, you can make pretzels from this dough, or you can make the bites like I am. And then if I have any like weird pieces, I just fold it up and make it into like a little log like this. And this piece is kind of wonky, so I'm just gonna kind of stretch it out a little bit. And there we go. So now I'm gonna cut these little bite-sized pieces. And then once I have them cut, I'm going to drop them into our liquid, our bowl, right over here. So, cut and drop, cut and drop, cut and drop. And repeat that process for all of the dough. And inside of the liquid, the water and baking soda, you're gonna let them sit in there for about a minute. And however many will comfortably fit in your bowl is how many you need to put in there. So you don't want to overflow your bowl or anything like that. I normally take my pieces of dough and stretch them out a little bit, just to make sure that they're not too thick or anything. So, as you can see here, this is what I'm doing. I'm just going to show you. Hold on. I'm going to put all of these pieces, make sure that they're all separate. And you need to be careful because this water is pretty hot. So you can see what I'm doing here. So I'm just cutting it like that. Each and every piece. Now, as for these two last ones, I'm actually going to try and make a pretzel shape. So, I've never done this before, but like I said, try. So I'm going to do like this, and then make them into like a rounded snake instead of like flat like this one. See, this one's flat and this one's rounded. Now, I've seen a lot of people do this, but I've never done it myself. Oh, I did it. Well, there we go. A little pretzel shape. Oh. So there we go. That looks cute. There's a bubble in it. So now I'm just going to pinch where it crosses over, just flatten it out a little bit, and toss it in our mixture. And as far as these are ready, so they're going to go in the oven for 10 to 12 minutes. So, go ahead and place these in the oven. Oh, this one's hot. I want to go on a hot burner, so. Alrighty. Now, set my timer for 10, actually, I want to set it for 11 minutes. There we go. Now, I'm going to make this one into another pretzel and put these on another baking sheet with parchment paper. And I will see you again when they are all baked. Alright, so the pretzels are about done, so I have my melted butter with a like little basting brush thing and some salt and safety first. So I'm ready to take them out. So I'm gonna go ahead and take these out. Yummy. Alright. Now, I still have another pan of them in there, but go ahead and move you over here. So, again, we have our butter. And we are just going to brush the butter onto each individual pretzel. So I'm just grabbing a little butter, tapping it on there until they look a little bit glossy. The little burnt pieces right here that you see right here, that's just a baking soda and water mixture that burnt, or got a little golden on there. There we go, one done. Now I'm gonna move on to this one over here. Don't know if you can see that one. There we go. So again, I'm just taking some of the butter, salted or unsalted, it doesn't matter, and just putting it on there. So, ooh. Okay, the ones in the oven currently are done now. So I'm gonna take these ovens out. Not quite, almost. They're almost done. So, it's still hot, and leave them in there for another minute or two, so that they can get a little more golden on the top. There we go. Now at this point, you can choose whether you want them sweet or if you want them savory. So if you want them sweet, you would grab sugar instead of salt and put sugar on top of them. But I want them salty. So I'm just gonna take some salt, grab a little pinch, and sprinkle some on top. Not that much, but that's just a signature way a pretzel is. They got salt on them. So there we go. Now, let's save the rest of this butter. I missed one right there. Okay, save the rest of this butter for the ones that come out later. But yeah, this was my recipe. Hope you enjoyed. Bye.